Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on how to cut and sew this short pants with Kiss Pleats. I also have a video on how I made the wrap top, which I'll be posting soon. So ensure to subscribe and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified when I post the top tutorial. So if this sounds like something you're interested in, ensure to watch to the end and let's get started. These are the materials I'll be using to make this dress. I have my pattern paper here. I also have my measuring tape, my marker, my scissors, my pencil. I have both my fabric scissors and my pattern scissors. I also have my pattern master and this beautiful black Mikado fabric that I'll be using. So I came down by 1 inch at the edge of the paper to get the waistline. So to get the crotch depth, which we'll be marking there, I divided the hip measurement by 4. That's 41 divided by 4 will be giving you about 10.25 inches. So that's what I marked there. So I'm just going to extend it this other way just to make it in a bust-like form. So I'll be marking the 10.25 inches on the horizontal and vertical axis just to get that bust-like shape. So this is what I was trying to explain, the box-like shape that I talked about. So that's the crotch line and that's the crotch depth. So I'll come down from the waistline for the hip line. So the hip line we're working with is 8 inches. If you're on a shorter size, I will advise you use 7.5 inches or you can still use the 8 inches I marked. So I will extend it this way to make it in a straight line. So after marking the hip line, we need to get the crotch extension. So to get your crotch extension, we'll be dividing the hip measurement by 16 inches. That's 41 divided by 16 inches will give you about 2.5 inches. So that's what I marked there. So I'll extend it like this. So after marking the crotch extension, we need to now mark our crotch curve, like giving the crotch area a little bit of curve. So I'm going to come up there by 1 inch or 0.75 inches and connect it like so. So I'll just bring in my pattern curve here and then connect it. You can decide to use your free hand if you don't have any pattern curve. So normally I don't like having that around my pants. So I don't like that dart stain on the pants. So I like to eliminate the dart on the pattern. So I'll be coming in by ½ inch and then connect it to the hip line. I usually do this on fitted pants, but this one is not fitted, so you can decide to actually ignore this part. So after connecting it to the hip line like so, I'm just going to determine the full length of this short pant. So I'll go from the waistline and mark about 15 inches for the full length. That's the length I want to use for my short pants. So you can measure yourself and mark it out. After marking the length of the pants, we need to mark the round waist. So the round waist you're working with is about 30 inches divided by 4, which will giving us about 7.5 inches. So we're going to mark this 7.5 inches from the crotch line, not from the ½ inches you came in by. So after marking it, you're just going to connect it to the hip line like so. You can decide to make it in a straight line or make it a little bit curvy like I did. So on the crotch line, I'm going to measure what we have there, which is about 12.5 inches. So I'm going to divide it by 2, which will give you 6.25 inches, which I marked there. I'll extend it to the length of the pant like so. That's the 6.25 inches and make it in a straight line. So if you're making a fitted pant, this line will guide you in imputing your measurement. That's your round thigh measurement. So for mine is not fitted, so I can decide to extend the same measurement I have for the crotch line downwards, but I decided to use 12 inches around the full length of this pant. That's sharing 6 inches on both sides. So after marking this like so, on the waistline, I'm going to come down by 0.5 inches, or you can come down by 0.75 inch and connect it to the waist measurement like so. So this is optional, or this is just how I like to mark my pants so it can be fitted. So I'll go ahead to label it like so. This is the front for the short pant, and this other side is the hip line, and the other one is the crotch line and the length as well. And after labeling, I'll go ahead to cut it out. So if you notice, I didn't cut out this part, so I'll cut it when I'm done drafting the back pattern. So I'll bring in this extra pattern I have there and then go ahead to place the front pattern on it to draft our back pattern. So we'll be using our front pattern to cut out the back. I'm going to slash open that hip line and then open it up and add extra fullness to the back. So the difference between the back and the front is just that the back has more fullness around the bum area just to give more room for the buttocks to sit in there. So this is the method one I normally use to cut my pants. So I'm just going to bring in the masking tape and tape it down like so. I had to flip it to this side so you can see what I'm doing very well. So I'm just going to open it up by 2 inches. If you're on a bigger size, that's if you have more buttocks or more bum bum, you can add 2.5 inches or 3 inches depending on your round hip measurement. Yeah, so the round hip measurement I work with is 41. That's why I added 2 inches. If I'm making a fitted pant, I would likely use 1.5 inches for the hip measurement that I'm working with. So I'm just going to extend the hip line there by 1.5 inches. I'll mark 1.5 inches away from the front pattern, to this side 1.5 inches, and to this side 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to connect all of this line and extend them like so before going ahead to join those points together. And using a straight line, I will connect the hip line to the waistline just this way I did for the back. After connecting the points together, I'll go ahead to cut it out. So this is the method one I use in cutting my pants. So if you want me to teach you the method two, let me know in the comment section below. And this is it here when I was done cutting it. What we need to do now is just to untape all those paper tape we used on the front pattern and go ahead to join back the hip line. So I'm just marking the crotch line and the hip line to the back so that I will rule it when I'm done removing the front from the back. So I'm just going to untape them and then close up the hip line that we slashed open. So ensure you're closing it up very well so there won't be space in between them. And after closing it up, we'll go ahead to cut out this slanting I did for the front, and this is it here for the front pattern. And to the back, I'm just going to mark out those lines I marked earlier. And we are done making our short pattern, so we need to now make the alteration for the front and back. So I'm just going to divide what we have there by 2 inches and then mark it to join the line we have on the crotch line. So this is when we're going to add the fullness that you saw around the short. That's the pleating we made in front. So this is where we're going to get the fullness around it. So I'm going to slash it open like so and then bring in extra pepper to open it this way. So what we're doing right now is a slash and spread method for the pants. So depending on how full you want yours to be, I didn't want mine so full because it's short. So I wanted it a little bit smaller. So if you want yours very full, towards the down part of the short, you have to open it up wide. Yeah, so I'm just taping down the pants to the extra fabric or the extra paper that we brought in, and I'm just going to make sure it's in a straight line using the ruler to make sure it's in a straight line. So I slashed open for the upper part. I'm using 4 inches for the upper part, and to the down part I used about 7 inches. So I used 4 inches there to slash and open it for the waistline. And on the down part, that's the length of the shorts, I use 7 inches. So you can decide to use 7 inches on the waistline, and then to the down of the short you can decide to use 12 inches if you want it so big. So it depends on your choice, but if you want yours to be the same size as mine, just use what I used here. So I slashed open with 7 inches and I'm just going to tape it down and then go ahead to cut it out. After taping them down, I'll go ahead to rule out the line to make it equal. in a straight line. So after cutting this front pattern, I'll go ahead to do exactly the same thing I did for the front at the back. And this is it here when I was done doing exactly the same thing I did for the front at the back. I later used a sellotape to tape it down for the front and the back so you can relax better off. So this is the pattern for the front and back, and this is the fabric I'm working with. I'm just going to transfer the pattern to fabric like so. I used about 1 yard of Mikado fabric. I went ahead to add half inch around the crotch area. The down part I used about 1.5 inches for the down parts, and this is it here when I cut them out. So the aim is that if we do our kiss split like so, you're just going to add fullness around the down part. So that's the aim of this. So I'm just going to go ahead to start sewing. So I went on to notch these parts just to guide us to make our kiss split. So I'll unpin the back at this point and then go ahead to my sewing machine to stitch around this place using half inch allowance I gave. I'll stitch there and make the pleat for the back. To make the case pleat, I'm just going to bring in this one like this and then the other one like this, just merging the two mouths together. That's how to make case pleat on your dress. And this is it here when I was done making the case pleat for the back. So I'll go ahead to measure what I have around the waist. So I'll ensure that we have our actual waist measurement there. So I measured it and it's giving me 16 inches. That's the waist measurement plus the allowance we have. So I went on to also stitch the crotch area for the back. So to the front now, I'll go ahead to unpin the front pattern and I'll be doing the same thing I did for the back. I'll notch that area and then go ahead to pleat it around that place I marked there after notching it and then show you what it looks like. So I'll be joining the crotch area there like so using half inch allowance, and this is it here when I was done doing all of this. So I'll press open the seam to ensure that it's relaxing better. To the back as well, I pressed open the seam. So after this, we need to join this dress side by side. So using the necessary allowance you gave, you're going to join the dress like so, and I'll bring in the zip I'll be working with. The zip will be on the left hand side, so I'm just going to use the zip to get the length of where I will start joining. So I will join the zip after putting the band. So before that, I'm just going to use the zip to get where to join for this other side. So I'll start there to join for this side. So I'm just going to use the necessary allowance and start from that place the zip stopped. I'm just going to chalk it down and start there to join it, and then on this other side, I'm just going to use the same half inch allowance we gave and join it like so. And guys, this is it here when I was done joining it. The front side and the back side is not equal towards the crotch. And this is it here. I'll just turn it in out. And guys, this is how the front side looks. So this is the remaining fabric we have left. I'm just going to measure what we have around the waist area. After measuring round the waist there, I'm just going to bring in the remaining fabric and then take in that measurement there. So for the length of this, I'm going to use the measurement I already measured on the short. For the width, I'll be using 6 inches for the width of this band that I'm trying to make, and then roll it up in a straight line like so and cut it out. So for the band interfacing, I'll be using this stay I have here to cut out the band interfacing. So I'll go ahead to iron this on it, and this is it here when I was done ironing the interfacing to the band. So after this, I'll bring in the short, and how we are going to join the band to the short is I'm going to place it to the wrong side. That's placing the front side of the band to the wrong side, and go ahead to use half inch allowance to sew it all around the pant waistline. So this is it here when I was on sewing it, and what we need to do next is to now fold it inwards to the front, like folding it towards the front. So I'm just going to put it down like so and then go ahead to fold it one and then fold it again. So the width of the band is going to be 2 inches, so ensure that you're getting 2 inches like the way I folded it. So this is 2 inches here, so I'll go ahead to sew it all around it. So I'll fold it like this and then fold it again like this, and I'll go ahead to sew all around there, stitching it like this, very neat stitching, and show you what it looks like. And guys, this is it here when I was done sewing it. I'll cut off the excess I have around the pants band and go ahead to iron it. So this is the zip I'm working with. I'll go ahead to put the zip around the side front or the side of the pants. And this is it here when I was done putting the zip. So guys, you can go ahead to weave your pants before hemming the down part. So to hem the down part, I'm just going to bring it in like so, and I will open up the seam like so and hem it like this, just using 1.5 inch allowance we gave for the down part to hem your pants. But for mine, I want to use crinoline to hem the down part of this shirt. So I'll be using these 3 inches. I have this 1 inch crinoline and the 3 inches as well. I would have loved to actually use this 2 inch crinoline, but I don't have it in black color, so I'm going to use the 3 inches crinoline to hem it. So the crinoline measures about 3 inches in width, and I'm just going to hem it like so. I'll go over to the sewing machine to do this. So I'm done hemming one part of the short leg, and this is it here. So to this other side, I'm just going to use the crinoline at this point. So I'm using a fabric to actually turn the mouth of the crinoline, so it won't be inching me when I am wearing the shorts. So I'll turn it like so and then go ahead to fold the fabric inwards like this, just like piping the mouth of the crinoline. After piping the mouth of the crinoline, I'm going to attach it like so. I'm going to place it from the outside on the inseam of the pant, and I'm going to use 1/2 inch allowance to sew all the way to the other end. So when I got almost to this end, I will cut off what I have there, cut off the excess crinoline, and then pipe this other mouth before going ahead to sew it till the end. So when I go to the other side, I'm just going to sew them like this, like top stitching them just to hold it down together. So after sewing this, I'm just going to bring it inwards like so and go ahead to top stitch it all round to the other end. Ensure that your crinoline is well relaxed while doing this. And guys, this is the short pant here. When I was done using the crinoline to hem the down part, let me know in the comment section if you'll be trying out this technique, and ensure to like, comment, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.